For our last story here, so as I mentioned earlier, now Nintendo Switch has been doing well since its launch, and what's interesting here is they've been climbing up in terms of its retail sales, and you'd be surprised how far they have gone since the launch way back in 2017. And according to the article here at techspot.com, it's closing in on the PS3 sales, the Nintendo Wii, as well as the PlayStation 2 console. So what made them that popular? Obviously, despite the pandemic that happened last year, their sales has been skyrocketing, increasing by as much as 37%. So it sold almost 30 million units, way higher than 21 million that they sold the year before. And obviously, the key features, or I think one of the reasons why I bought their console, is because of their portability. So obviously not just the portability, but the games that the libraries that Nintendo has. You have the Mario series, then you have the Zelda, many other, that is synonymous with the Nintendo brand here. Now, obviously, the sales that they've generated almost 85 million. So let's see here. What the heck was it? There you go. So they've already sold almost 85 million of lifetime sales, which is placing them eighth place, and just ahead of the Xbox, which is, if you're an Xbox owner, they're they're not making any headway. Xbox 360, my mistake. So just imagine, they've already released the console way back in 2017, so it's only been 4 years, and they made already some headways in the all-time sales in the marketplace here. And obviously you have PlayStation 2 is the number one in terms of lifetime sales here. So let's see here. Where was it? There you go. So you can see here that they made 85 million. So that's a lot of console in a short span of period. And you see where their position here is. The Nintendo Switch is here. They only sold 84 million. Yeah, only. But they sold it. They only started 2017 compared to the PlayStation 3, which is they can surpass it by this year, which had been selling for more than 2 decades. Compared to the Wii, same year, has reached over 100 million sales. What's interesting, the first PlayStation iteration was sold way back in the early 90s or mid 90s, which sold 100 million. And look at the top spot, you have PlayStation 2, which started selling way back in 2000s, which had been in the market for more than 2 decades already, has sold 155 million. Now, will Nintendo Switch reach that level? Who's to say? Now, there have been plans of releasing a newer version of the Nintendo Switch Pro, providing 4K resolution and hopefully a smaller bezel so that you can maximize the footprint of your screen. Obviously, we still have to wait and see. There have been rumors galore, but it wasn't mentioned whether that was going to be true, or we have to wait and see when the official announcement is mentioned later on. Anyway, so is it just the console themselves that make them popular? Well, in this case, obviously, the games matters most here. And what's interesting here, there were 230 million sales of games the year before. A high sales compared to their projection of 90 million. So that's a pretty substantial difference there. And one of their top games is, you have Animal Crossing, which I bought sadly last year. I played it quite a few times last year, but not so much now, which sold 20 million units. Then you have some of the more popular, Super Mario Odyssey, Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, which sold 10 million, which is not bad. Then you have the Super Mario All Stars that sold less than 9 million, or a little over 9 million, and so forth. So a lot of popular games and a lot of people buying those games. And obviously, if they keep on producing more units and a lot of people more produce it, a lot more people buy it, obviously games would be bought in droves, and it's going to just improve their sales, revenue, all of those good things. And can't wait to see what they produce next and what games they produce next. I'm looking forward. I bought Legends of Zelda retail price, and I'm now considering purchasing the sequel of the Breath of the Wild. So anyway,